I swear I've never been this nervous in my life, I muttered, pacing the hotel suite. My tie was crooked, my hands shaking. Tomorrow I marry Lara Hayes, my forever. Evan laughed from the couch. Relax, man. You sound like you're about to take an exam, not get married. Feels like one, I said, smiling weakly. I've never been more sure about anything. She's it for me, he tossed me a beer. To you and Lara. May you never screw up what the rest of us dream about. I lifted the can, grinning. Cheers to that. When he left, silence filled the room. I picked up my vows, reading them out loud again, whispering her name like a prayer. I promise to love you when life is easy and when it isn't. My chest felt warm just saying the words. My phone buzzed. A message from Ryan. Bro, you need to see this. Right now! I frowned, opening the attachment. A short video. My thumb trembled as I pressed play. Lara, her laughter. Another man's hands around her waist. Their faces close, too close. My heart stopped. No, I whispered, playing it again, hoping it would somehow change. It didn't. The man kissed her. She didn't pull away. She smiled. I dropped the phone. My body felt hollow. She wouldn't. My own voice sounded far away. A minute later, I called her. She answered too quickly. Hey, love. Can't sleep either. Where are you? My tone was flat. At my sister's. Why? Try again. There was silence. Then a nervous laugh. Ethan, what's going on? I saw you, Lara. My throat tightened. Don't lie, please, just don't, she gasped. Who showed you that? It's not what it looks like. It's exactly what it looks like. I snapped. You were with him, Lara. On the night before our wedding. It was a mistake, she cried. I wasn't thinking. He was drunk, and you just fell into his arms? I laughed bitterly. You've been planning a life with me while sleeping with someone else? Her voice broke. Please, Ethan, don't do this now. Tomorrow's our day. Let's talk tomorrow, I whispered. Tomorrow was supposed to be forever. You destroyed it tonight. I hung up before she could speak again. My heart hammered like a drum in my chest. I sank to the floor, pressing my palms against my face. For a long time, I just sat there. The room was quiet except for my shallow breathing. Then came the anger. Sharp, alive, burning through my veins. I grabbed the phone again and called Evan. You still awake? Yeah, why? Cancel everything, I said, my voice low. The wedding's off. What happened? She cheated. He went silent. Ethan, don't, I cut him off. Don't say anything. I'll deal with it. When I hung up, I stared at Lara's photo on my desk. Her smile mocked me now. I thought you were my forever, I whispered. Turns out you were just a lie I fell in love with. Tomorrow was supposed to be the best day of my life. Instead, it became the night everything died. I can explain, Lara whispered, her hands trembling across the table. Please, Ethan, just let me explain. I stared at her. The cafe was quiet, but inside me, everything screamed. Go ahead, I said flatly. I'm listening. Tears welled in her eyes. It wasn't what you think. I was drunk. He was drunk. Don't, I cut her off. Don't blame alcohol. You kissed him. Twice. Her face twisted. It didn't mean anything. I panicked after. I was going to tell you. When? After the honeymoon? Or maybe at our anniversary dinner? My tone stayed calm, but my hands clenched under the table. You were never going to tell me. She reached across the table, but I pulled back. I love you, Ethan. You know that? Love? I laughed bitterly. That's not love. That's convenience, her voice cracked. Please, I made a mistake. I can fix this. We can fix this. You broke something that doesn't fix, Lara. I leaned closer. I trusted you. You looked me in the eye and promised forever, she sobbed, shaking her head. He meant nothing. You mean everything to me. Then why was it so easy for you to forget me? I whispered. Why was one night worth more than everything we built? She covered her face. I don't know. I was scared, okay? I thought maybe I wasn't ready, so you cheated to find out? She froze, eyes darting everywhere but at me. I was stupid. Please, Ethan, don't end us like this. Everyone's waiting for the wedding. My family? Your family? I said sharply. You're worried about what people will say, not about what you did to me. Her voice softened to a plea. I'm worried about you, about us. There is no us anymore. For a moment, neither of us spoke. The sound of the coffee machine hissed behind her, the smell of burnt beans hanging between us like smoke after a fire. She whispered, "You can hate me later. Just marry me tomorrow. Pretend this never happened." I stared at her, stunned. "Pretend?" "Yes," she said quickly. "We'll start over. I'll prove it to you. I'll make it right." I laughed softly, shaking my head. "You think I could stand beside you tomorrow, smile for pictures, kiss you in front of everyone, knowing you gave yourself to someone else?" She flinched. "Ethan, please." I stood up. "You destroyed tomorrow the moment you touched him." She reached for me again. "Don't leave like this," but I was already walking toward the door. "You wanted freedom," I said quietly. "Now you have it." Behind me, her sobs echoed through the room, each one cutting deeper than the last. Outside, the cold night air hit my face, but it wasn't enough to cool the fire burning inside me. Evan was waiting by his car. "How'd it go?" I didn't answer. He sighed. "You're not thinking straight, man. Don't do anything stupid." I looked up at him, my voice low and steady. "Oh, I'm done thinking. It's time to act." That night, I made a decision I knew I'd never come back from. The wedding hall smelled like roses and lies. I stood at the entrance watching guests laugh, completely unaware of the storm about to hit. My heart pounded, but my mind was ice. Evan grabbed my arm. "You don't have to do this," he whispered. "I do," I said quietly. "Someone has to know who she really is." The music started. The doors opened. Lara appeared, radiant and white, pretending innocence like she hadn't destroyed me 2 nights ago. Our eyes met. Her smile faltered. "Good." As she reached me, I took the microphone from the host. The crowd went silent. "Before we begin," I said, my voice steady, "I need to tell everyone something." Lara's hand shot out. "Ethan, please don't." I turned to the guests. "This woman you all came to celebrate cheated on me." "The night before our wedding," gasps echoed. Her father stood up, face pale. "What are you saying, son?" "I'm saying your daughter lied to all of us," I said, my voice rising. "I have proof." Lara's tears came fast. "Ethan, stop! Please don't do this here." "Oh, here is perfect," I said bitterly. Right where I was supposed to say, "I do." Her mother covered her mouth. "Tell me this isn't true, Lara." She shook her head helplessly. "It was a mistake. I love him." "Love?" I snapped. "You called that love when you let another man touch you?" Whispers filled the room, faces twisting in judgment, curiosity, disgust. Then I saw her. Maya, standing behind her parents, frozen. Her eyes weren't angry or shocked, they were sad. Not for Lara. For me, Lara's father shouted, "Enough! You can't humiliate her like this." "Then maybe you should have raised her better," I said quietly. Lara fell to her knees, sobbing. "Ethan, please, I'm sorry. I'll do anything." I took a deep breath. My hand shook, but I forced myself to let go of the microphone. "It's over, Lara. The wedding's canceled. Consider this my final goodbye." I turned and walked down the aisle as gasps followed me. The music stopped. My chest ached, but I didn't look back. Outside, the cool air hit like punishment. I sat on the steps, watching guests trickle out in confusion. My phone buzzed endlessly, calls, messages, but I ignored them all. Hours passed before I heard a soft voice. "You shouldn't be here alone." I turned. Maya stood there, still in her lavender dress, her expression gentle. "I didn't know," she said softly. "Not until today." "I believe you," I said, surprising myself. "You're nothing like her." She hesitated. "She's my sister, but—" "What she did was unforgivable," I nodded. I thought I'd feel better saying it out loud. "I don't." "Because you loved her," she whispered. I looked at her. Really looked. Her eyes held pain, not pity. The kind that understood. "Yeah," I said quietly. "I did." She sat beside me. "You deserve someone who won't make you question your worth." I gave a hollow laugh. "You sound too kind for this world, Maya." "Maybe I'm just tired of watching people hurt the ones who don't deserve it." We sat in silence. The wedding lights flickered behind us, fading into the night. For the first time in days, I didn't feel completely alone. "I must be out of my mind," I muttered, staring into my untouched glass of whiskey. The bar lights blurred, matching the chaos inside my head. Evan sat across from me. "You are, completely. I can't stop seeing her face," I said. "The pity." The whispers. Everyone's acting like I'm broken. You are broken, he said softly. And that's okay. Just don't make it worse, I laughed bitterly. Too late for that, he frowned. What are you planning? Before I could answer, my phone buzzed. Maya Hayes, I hesitated, then picked up. Hey, Ethan, she said quietly. Are you okay? I exhaled. That's a dangerous question these days. Then I'll ask a safer one, she said gently. Have you eaten? I smiled faintly. No. Meet me at the cafe near the pier. 10 minutes. I hung up before I could change my mind. When I arrived, Maya was already there. Hood up, hands around a coffee cup. She looked fragile, yet stronger than I remembered. You shouldn't be seen with me, I said, sliding into the seat. People will think you're siding with the villain. Let them think whatever they want, she said. You didn't deserve what happened. Her loyalty, quiet and unspoken, cut deeper than any sympathy. I hate this feeling, I said suddenly, like everyone's watching me fall apart. They're watching because they can't imagine surviving what you did, she said softly. I looked at her for a long moment. Something shifted inside me. You've always been honest, haven't you? I try to be, she replied, meeting my gaze. I don't want honesty tonight, I said. I want madness, her brows furrowed. Ethan, what are you talking about? I leaned forward, my voice low. Marry me, her eyes widened. What? You heard me. Marry me, Maya. That's not funny. I'm not joking. I smiled faintly. You said I deserve someone better. Maybe that someone's you, she blinked, stunned. You just exposed my sister at the altar 2 days ago. You can't be serious. I am. I don't want pity. I don't want sympathy. I want someone who actually sees me. And you do, her voice trembled. This isn't love, Ethan. It's pain talking. Maybe, I admitted. But it's real. I'd rather start something broken than keep pretending I'm fine. She looked away, torn. People will hate us. Let them. Maya's eyes filled with something. Fear, maybe hope. If I say yes, I want honesty. No revenge? No ghosts between us? I nodded. Deal. A long silence followed. Then quietly she said, Okay. I repeated, almost not believing it. She gave a faint smile. You need someone to stand beside you. Maybe I need that too. I exhaled, feeling something I hadn't in days. Clarity. Then it settled. Her voice softened. We're both insane. Probably, I said, standing. But maybe that's what makes it real. 2 days later, we signed the papers. No flowers, no guests. Just two broken souls trying to build something new out of the wreckage, and as I looked at her hand in mine, I couldn't tell if I'd just found my salvation or my next mistake. The music played softly, mocking me with its sweetness. I stood at the altar, my palms damp, the collar of my tux strangling me. Evan leaned over and whispered, You still have time to walk out. I forced a smile. And miss the performance of a lifetime? He sighed. This isn't a show, Ethan. Everything's a show now, I said. Might as well give them an ending worth talking about. Then the doors opened. Maya walked in, pale against her white dress. Her eyes searched mine, hesitant, afraid. For a second, I wanted to stop everything. But the guests turned, phones ready, whispers spreading like smoke. Too late. She reached me, her hand trembling. You sure about this? She murmured. No, I said honestly. But I'm doing it anyway. Her breath hitched. That's not comforting. Didn't say it was. The officiant's voice blurred as we repeated vows that didn't belong to us. My voice cracked once and Maya's eyes flickered toward me, concerned, not in love, just human. When the words, You may kiss the bride, came, she hesitated. So did I. But we leaned in, brushed lips, and the crowd erupted in forced applause. Evan muttered behind me, Congratulations, you've officially lost your mind, I whispered back. Thanks. It's freeing. After the ceremony, everyone lined up for pictures. Lara stood near the back, her arms folded, face pale and hollow. Our eyes met briefly, hers sharp with something between disgust and regret. She didn't say a word, but I heard it anyway. You'll regret this. I turned away. Let's go, I told Maya. The reception was worse. Smiles felt painted on. Every laugh sounded rehearsed. Maya clutched her champagne like it was a lifeline. You don't have to pretend, I said quietly. She looked at me. Neither do you. I'm not pretending, I lied. Yes, you are, she said softly. You're wearing revenge like it's armor, but it's just breaking you. I met her gaze. You could still walk away, could you? I didn't answer. When the band started playing, people expected us to dance. I offered my hand anyway. She hesitated, then took it. Her fingers were cold. We moved stiffly, bodies close but hearts miles apart. This isn't what I pictured, she whispered. What did you picture? Something real, I swallowed. Maybe someday. Maybe, she echoed, though her voice carried no belief. Later that night, back in the hotel suite, silence filled the air. She stood by the window, staring out at the city lights. You don't have to stay, I said. She turned slightly. We're married now. Isn't that the point? I don't even know what the point is anymore. Then maybe you shouldn't have asked me. Maybe I shouldn't have said it, I murmured. Her shoulders dropped. You wanted to prove something. Yeah, I said, that I could still feel something. Did you? I hesitated. I'm not sure. She turned off the lamp, her voice fading in the dark. Neither am I. I lay beside her, staring at the ceiling. The silence between us wasn't peace. It was punishment. And for the first time since I'd proposed, I wondered if I'd just married my own guilt. The days blurred together after the wedding. The house felt too quiet, too clean, like it didn't belong to either of us yet. One morning, Maya set down a mug of coffee and asked softly, You still hate me for saying yes, don't you? I looked up. No, I hate myself for asking. Her lips twitched. Honesty at breakfast, impressive. I figured you deserved that much. I'd rather deserve peace, she said. We sat in silence for a while, the clink of spoons filling the space. Finally, I asked, Why did you say yes that night? She laughed faintly. You think I know? Maybe I was tired of being the sister who watched from the sidelines. My brow furrowed. The sidelines? She sighed, staring at her hands. Lara always took what she wanted. The dresses, the attention, the praise. Even when she didn't love something or someone, she just couldn't let anyone else have it. I leaned back, her words sinking in. You mean me? Her eyes lifted, shimmering with something raw. I liked you first, Ethan, years ago. Before she noticed you. But she noticed my silence and took advantage of it. The air felt heavier. You never said anything. Would you have believed me? I didn't answer. Because I wouldn't have. She smiled bitterly. See, that's the thing. Lara didn't lie well, but people wanted to believe her. She made the truth sound inconvenient. I rubbed my temples. You sound like you've been carrying this for a long time. Since I learned that loving anyone she loved was a crime. I exhaled slowly. You could have told me before I proposed. I thought it would ruin what little we had. Turns out we didn't have much anyway. Her honesty hit harder than I expected. I reached for her hand, hesitated, then pulled back. You're nothing like her. She looked away. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. That night, we sat on the couch, a movie playing we weren't watching. Her head rested against the armrest, her eyes half closed. I said quietly, You really don't hate her, do you? She blinked. I hate what she made me become. Before I could respond, the doorbell rang. Maya froze. Don't, she whispered. I opened the door anyway. Lara stood there, eyes red, voice trembling. Ethan, please. Just hear me out. Maya's voice came from behind me, sharp and steady. No, he's done hearing you out. Lara turned to her sister. Maya, please, or don't please me. You had your turn. Leave us alone. The way she said us made my chest tighten. Lara's gaze darted between us, confusion and guilt twisting her face. This isn't you, she muttered. Maya stepped forward. You're right. For once, it's me without you. Lara's eyes filled with tears. He'll see who you really are. Maya didn't flinch. He already has. I closed the door. The silence afterward wasn't empty. It was freeing. Maya sank onto the couch, breathing shakily. I didn't mean to. I know, I said. But I'm glad you did. She looked up at me, eyes glistening. What now? I didn't have an answer. But for the first time, I didn't feel trapped by anger, just awake. I was locking up the office when I heard her voice behind me. Ethan. That name. How easily she still said it. I turned, and there she was. Lara. You shouldn't be here, I said flatly. She stepped closer, eyes glassy. I had to see you. I made a mistake, I laughed bitterly. You made several, actually. I was scared, she whispered. I didn't know what I wanted. You knew enough to cheat, I replied. Her chin trembled. You think I didn't hate myself every day after you left? I folded my arms. I think you hated losing control, she flinched. You sound just like Maya. That's a compliment. Her voice broke. Ethan, please. Don't do this. I love you. The word love used to melt me. Now it sounded like a threat. You love being wanted, I said quietly. Not me. She took a deep breath. She doesn't deserve you. She waited for you to break. She took advantage. Stop. She did. She always envied me, you know that. You were just her revenge. I stared at her. Funny, that's exactly what I was to you. Her expression faltered. You're cruel. No, I said. I'm finally honest. She turned, voice shaking. People are talking, Ethan. They think she trapped you. People? Friends, Evan, even your mother. The mention made my jaw tighten. You went to them? They deserve to know the truth. No, I said coldly. They deserve peace. She swallowed hard. You think peace will last with her? You're just a replacement for everything she couldn't be. She's not pretending to be perfect, I said. You never stopped pretending. Lara blinked back tears. You're blind. She's manipulating you, I exhaled. Lara, leave before I start believing you came here to ruin what little good I have left. Her lip quivered. You'll regret this. Already do, I murmured. She turned and left, heels clicking down the hall, fading like echoes of the life I once wanted. When I got home, Maya was sitting on the couch, phone in hand. So, she said softly, she's back. I froze. You heard? She called me. Told me I should be ashamed. I groaned. I'll handle it. No, she said, eyes firm. You don't have to fight my battles. She's spreading lies, Maya. My friends, they'll believe what they want. Let them, I sat beside her. It's not that simple. It is, she whispered. We stop letting her decide how we feel. I looked at her, the calm in her face cutting through my anger. She's turning people against you. Then let them turn, she said. I don't need their approval. I just need to know you're not doubting me. Her voice cracked at the end, barely holding steady. I reached for her hand. I'm not. But that night, lying awake beside her, I realized doubt doesn't always come from lies. Sometimes it comes from remembering how easily you once believed them, and I hated that part of me still did. I stared at my reflection in the bathroom mirror. The man looking back at me felt like a stranger. Who are you? I whispered. A husband or a hypocrite? Maya's soft knock came from the doorway. You've been in there for an hour. Are you okay? Yeah, I lied. Just thinking. She stepped closer, hesitant. About her? About me, I said quietly. And how much of this mess I created myself, she frowned. You didn't cheat, Ethan. You were the one betrayed. That's the easy part to say, I muttered, turning to face her. But I didn't marry you for love, did I? Her expression flickered.
Why are you saying this now?
Because I'm tired of pretending, I said. I keep wondering if I did it to move on, or to make her jealous. Maya's arms folded. And what do you think? I think I used you. The words burned my throat. She didn't flinch. Maybe you did, but you didn't have to love me for me to stay. That hit harder than I expected. You should have left. I thought about it, she admitted. But every time you looked at me, I saw someone trying to find himself again. That was enough. Her calm scared me more than her anger. You deserve better than a man still haunted by his past. I'm not asking for better, she said softly. Just honest, I exhaled shakily. Then here it is. Sometimes I wake up next to you and feel guilty for being happy. Because I shouldn't be. She sat on the edge of the bed. You're human, Ethan. Pain doesn't vanish because someone else loves you. I sat beside her, running a hand through my hair. You make it sound simple. It's not, she said. But you can't keep punishing yourself. Her voice trembled slightly, but she held her ground. I finally looked at her. You know, when Lara cheated, I thought I'd never be enough for anyone again. That everything about me, my trust, my love, my loyalty, was a joke. It wasn't, she said. It was wasted on the wrong person. The silence between us was heavy but warm. I felt something shift inside me, a quiet acceptance I hadn't known I needed. Maya, I said after a moment. Thank you. For what? For staying. Even when I was unbearable, she smiled faintly. You weren't unbearable. Just broken. I'm still broken, I whispered. Then let's fix you one truth at a time, she said. I almost smiled. You really think I can be fixed? She met my eyes. You're already trying. That's more than most. Her words sat deep in my chest. I leaned back, feeling lighter. You know, I don't hate her anymore. Good, she said. Because hate only keeps her alive inside you. But before I could answer, my phone buzzed. One message. From Lara. If you think it's over, you're wrong. And just like that, the man I was learning to be started slipping back toward the one I used to be. The knock on my office door was sharp. Impatient. Come in, I said without looking up. Lara walked in, lips curved in that fake sweet smile I used to mistake for love. What do you want? I asked. Truth, she said. You've built this little perfect life with my sister. Don't you want to know how much of it is a lie? I looked up. You're wasting your time. Oh, am I? She said, stepping closer. Did Maya ever tell you she knew? That she saw me with Daniel before you did? My stomach twisted. You're lying, she smirked. Ask her. She won't deny it. Get out. She watched you break, Ethan. Watched me cheat and said nothing. I slammed my fist on the desk. Enough! Her voice softened. You think she's innocent? She's just smarter at pretending. I didn't answer. I couldn't. My pulse pounded in my ears as she left with a satisfied smirk. The drive home was a blur. Every word echoed. She knew. She saw. When I stepped into the house, Maya looked up from the couch. You look pale. What happened? Did you know? I asked, her brow furrowed. About what? Don't play dumb, I snapped. About Lara and Daniel. Before the wedding. Her lips parted, but no sound came. That silence was louder than any confession. You did, I whispered. I didn't want to hurt you, she said finally. My chest tightened. You think lying didn't hurt? Tears welled in her eyes. I tried to tell you. You were so happy, Ethan. I thought maybe she'd stop. She didn't. I know, she said weakly. And when you found out, I hated myself for not stopping it. I laughed bitterly. So you watched the fire burn and called it protection? It wasn't like that. It was exactly like that, I said, voice breaking. You saw me living a lie and did nothing. Her voice shook. I loved you even then. I couldn't be the one to destroy you. I stepped back. You destroyed me by staying silent. She flinched as I grabbed my coat. Where are you going? Out, I muttered. Ethan, please. I turned to her, eyes burning. Do you know how it feels to be betrayed twice by two sisters? Because now I do, she covered her mouth, tears spilling. I never meant to hurt you. Then you shouldn't have loved me like that, I said, voice low. Love without truth is just pity. She took a shaky step forward. Don't leave angry. I left trusting, I said. Now there's nothing left to leave with. I walked out before she could answer. The door closed behind me, but her sobs still reached through the walls. Outside, the night air was sharp, almost punishing. For a moment, I wished I could hate them both. But the truth was worse. I still loved one and hated myself for it. The days bled together like ink on wet paper. I buried myself in work, chasing deadlines just to avoid my own thoughts, emails, meetings, endless noise. It all kept me from hearing the silence inside me. But it didn't last. Nothing ever does. Man, you look like hell, Evan said, dropping into the chair across from my desk. I'm fine, I muttered without looking up. Sure, he said dryly, because everyone who's fine hides behind spreadsheets and coffee cups for 12 hours a day. I'm working, I said. You're running, he replied. I sighed, closing the laptop. Why are you here, Evan? Because someone has to remind you you're still human. I don't need saving. He leaned forward. No, you need honesty. You're becoming the same man who broke you. The words hit me like a punch. What's that supposed to mean? You're cold, angry, numb. The guy who used to laugh, care, feel, he's gone. You're just punishing everyone for what Lara did. I looked away. You think I wanted any of this? No, he said. But you chose it. You married her sister, Ethan. You humiliated Lara. You've spent every day since proving you're not weak. But guess what? That's exactly what weakness looks like. I clenched my fists. You weren't there when it happened. You don't know what it felt like to be betrayed like that. He nodded slowly. You're right. I don't. But I do know what it's like watching my best friend destroy himself over someone who isn't even thinking about him anymore. I swallowed hard. Don't talk about her. Why not? Because she still owns you? I glared at him. I moved on. Then why do you still look for her name in every rumor? Why do you flinch when someone mentions her? I had no answer. The silence said enough. Evan exhaled, rubbing his temples. You keep blaming Lara, blaming Maya, blaming everyone but yourself. But tell me, when was the last time you forgave yourself for loving the wrong person? Forgiveness doesn't fix anything, I muttered. It fixes you, he said. You just don't want to heal because pain makes you feel alive. I stared at the floor. His voice softened. You think revenge made you stronger, but all it did was rot the good left in you. Something inside me cracked. I leaned back, eyes burning. I thought hurting her would make the pain stop. I thought if she suffered, I'd feel balanced. Did it? I shook my head. No, it made me worse. Evan stood up. Then stop letting her define you. I looked up at him. And if I don't know who I am without the anger? He smiled sadly. Then that's where you start. When he left, the room felt too quiet again. I sat there, staring at my reflection in the dark monitor. For the first time, I didn't see Lara or Maya. I saw me, broken, bitter, and tired of pretending I wasn't, and maybe that was the beginning of something real. The rain came down hard, soaking through my shirt until it clung to my skin. I didn't move. The house in front of me looked unfamiliar. Same walls, same windows, but empty now, like it had stopped belonging to us the moment truth did. Then I heard her voice. Ethan? I turned. Maya stood at the gate, hair plastered to her face, umbrella forgotten at her side. You shouldn't be here, I said quietly. I know, she breathed, but I had to see you. For what? Another secret? She shook her head. No more secrets, just an apology, I laughed bitterly. Now, after everything? Yes, because it's the only thing I can still give you. I looked away. You think saying sorry erases the fact that you knew? That you stood there silent while I drowned? Her voice trembled. I wanted to protect you, but that wasn't protection. It was cowardice. I see that now. I stepped closer, my heart pounding. You watched me break, Maya. You let me. Tears mixed with the rain on her cheeks. And I've hated myself every day since. You don't have to forgive me. I just needed you to know I'm sorry. Not to win you back. Just to stop lying to you and to myself. I stared at her. For months, I'd imagined this moment, how I'd yell, how I'd make her feel the pain she left me with. But now, hearing her voice crack, I just felt tired. Why now? I asked softly. Because you deserve peace, she whispered. Even if it's without me. I swallowed hard. You think peace comes that easy? No, she said. But maybe it starts when we stop pretending we're okay. For a long time, I didn't speak. The rain filled the silence between us, cold and relentless. Finally, I said, I can't promise love right now, Maya. I don't even know what love means anymore. She nodded slowly. I didn't come for promises. But, I added, I want to try. Not because I'm angry. Not because I want to fix what's broken. Because I'm tired of living like none of it mattered. Her eyes widened slightly. You mean that? I exhaled. For the first time in months, yeah. I mean it, Maya stepped closer, hesitant. Then maybe that's enough for now. We stood there, neither reaching for the other, just breathing the same damp air. The kind of silence that didn't hurt anymore, it just existed. The porch light flickered, reflecting off the puddles. I looked at her one last time and said, whatever happens next, no more lies. Not from you. Not from me, she nodded. Deal. When she turned to leave, I didn't stop her. I just watched, rain blurring her outline until she disappeared down the street. For once, the emptiness didn't feel like punishment. It felt like space to rebuild, to remember, to forgive, and for the first time, I wasn't running from the storm. I was standing in it, finally ready to let it wash me clean. I wasn't looking for her that day. I was just grabbing coffee on my way home when I saw a familiar figure sitting by the window, alone, staring blankly into a cup gone cold. Lara. My breath caught for a second. She looked nothing like the woman I remembered. Her hair, once immaculate, was tangled. Her eyes were hollow, rimmed with exhaustion. For a moment, I almost didn't recognize her. She noticed me before I could decide whether to leave. "Ethan," she said quietly. "You're really here." I hesitated, then walked over. "Didn't expect to see you here," she gave a dry laugh. I didn't expect to see me anywhere, honestly. I sat across from her. "You look different. Destroyed?" she offered with a bitter smile. "You can say it," I didn't answer. Silence stretched, filled only by the clatter of cups and murmured conversations around us. "So," I finally said, "how have you been?" She let out a hollow sound, half laugh, half sigh. Funny question, coming from the man whose life I set on fire. "Still," I asked. She looked down, twisting a napkin in her hands. "He left me. The man I thought was my escape. Turns out I was just his entertainment until something younger came along." I swallowed, unsure what to feel. "I'm sorry," I said, and I meant it, though not in the way she hoped. "Don't be." Her voice cracked. "I earned this. Every piece of it." I stared at her for a long moment. "You always thought you were untouchable, Lara." "I know." She lifted her gaze, eyes glassy. "And I thought you were weak." "You weren't." "I was," I admitted. "But pain changes people," she nodded slowly. "You got your revenge, didn't you?" I shook my head. "No, I didn't need to." Her eyes flickered with confusion. "Then why does it feel like I lost everything and you didn't?" "Because I stopped fighting ghosts," I said quietly. "And you kept feeding them." For a second, neither of us spoke. The rain outside started to fall, faint against the glass like the world wanted to drown out what was left between us. "Do you hate me?" she asked suddenly. "I did," I said. "For a long time. But hate's just another kind of chain." She blinked, tears spilling. "Then what do you feel now?" "Nothing that hurts," I said simply. "That's enough." She reached across the table, her trembling fingers barely brushing mine. "I ruined everything, Ethan. I ruined you." I pulled my hand back gently. "No, Lara. You just taught me what not to love." Her face broke, the mask finally slipping. "You got your revenge," she whispered again. I stood up, looking at her one last time. "No, Lara," I said softly. "Life did." She didn't look up as I walked away. Outside, the rain felt strangely warm on my skin. For the first time in years, I didn't feel the need to run or fix or fight. For the first time, I felt peace. The sky stretched endless above us, painted in soft gold and fading blue. The sound of waves was the only witness to what Maya and I were about to do. She stood barefoot in the sand, her hair dancing with the wind. "Are you sure about this?" she asked softly. "I've never been more sure," I said. "No guests, no music. Just us," Maya smiled faintly. "It's strange, isn't it? Saying vows again when the first time wasn't even about love." "It was about pain," I admitted. "But this is about what came after." She looked down, her fingers fidgeting with the small seashell bracelet she wore. "I thought I'd lost you for good after everything." "After Lara, after the silence. You didn't lose me," I said. "I just had to find myself before I could come back." Maya met my eyes. "You sound different now." "I feel different," I said. "Back then I wanted to prove something, to Lara, to myself. Now I just want peace." The tide crept closer, brushing our feet. Maya took a deep breath. "Then let's start over." "No lies, no ghosts," I nodded. "No ghosts," she held out her hand. "Say it then." "Whatever you would have said if it had been real the first time." I exhaled, feeling the weight of years settle into words. "Maya, I never gave you the love you deserved. I was too busy hating someone else to see you standing right in front of me. You were never my revenge. You were the proof that I could still love after being broken." Her lips trembled. "You don't owe me forgiveness." "I'm not giving it," I said. "I'm asking for yours." Tears shimmered in her eyes. "For what?" "For making you carry my pain when you were trying to heal your own." She smiled through the tears. "Then I forgive you, but only if you promise not to disappear when things get hard again." "I promise," I whispered. "This time I'll stay." She laughed softly. "That's a better vow than till death do us part." "Yeah," I said, chuckling. "I think death's had enough of our story." We stood there for a while, the silence easy between us. The wind caught her hair, and she looked so alive it hurt to remember how close I came to losing her. I don't think love erases the pain, I said quietly. It just teaches us how to live with it. Maya nodded. Then maybe that's what real love is. Two people choosing to stay after the storm. Even when the tide pulls hard, I added. She squeezed my hand. Especially then. We watched the sun dip lower, melting into the water like it, too, was ready to let go. As the sky dimmed, I whispered to myself, maybe I didn't marry the wrong sister. Maybe I just had to lose everything first, to understand what love really means, and for once the words felt true.